And we're going to get to a point at some point, and it's not going to happen quickly because I'm currently working in the magic section of the board. But we will get to a point in the somewhat near future where Yuna and Riku are... Ooh, nice. We're going to get to a point where Yuna and Riku are able to actually start meleeing with Tidus, and it will speed this process up a little bit. So I'm finally going to use Yuna's Overdrive. I've never used it before on screen. Yuna's Overdrive is Grand Summon, and all Grand Summon does is bring in a summon with full Overdrive they might not have had before. So I can just, like, pull out Anima and let Anima do stupid shit. And then get that, overkill like I just did. Speed things up a little bit. I may have showed you. I never thought I actually did it, because I always had my... Okay, Riku needs to be the last one to move. Because this is her sphere grid, so she actually has all of this filled in right now. Or this, like, she's already done all this before. I thought I always had all summons with overdrives active. Maybe not. So basically, Tidus is going to move forwards as far as his S levels allow. And then once he's done, Yuna's going to do the same thing. And once she's done, Riku's going to do the same thing. Because Riku had to backtrack a little bit, I'm going to have to, like, stop Tidus once he has about 40 S levels left. And then go have everybody max out again. That way they're once again on the same thing. Just because Riku had to do a little bit of backtracking. And it's also a little bit easy to see what I've leveled up. If you look at any given sphere grid, or any given spheres that I'm activating, the colored lights around the outside tell you who's activated them already. So because all of these are green, even without switching to Riku, I can see that Riku's activated all these, so I know I haven't gone beyond where she's gone. Purple is Lulu, so you can see where only Lulu is gone. And we're going to end up, like, coming back and re-completing sections over and over as I go through and I start replacing all of the individual stats. Which is also why I'm not caring about the rest of these stats, like the fact that some of these, defenses or strengths and such are not as good as they need to be, because I'm going to have to come back and replace anyways. But increasing the stats that I'm going to increase makes the future stat bosses I fight easier. So, for example, when I fight the, I think if I remember correctly, the first boss we fight is the accuracy. I think we grind accuracy first. Because once I have accuracy up to 255, we will almost never miss. Like, it will be an almost guaranteed hit every time we attack. Which is kind of important, because not only does that make my life easier in every future boss, we don't have to miss any bosses, but the next boss we fight is the evasion boss. And the evasion boss not only drops evasion spheres, but it also has extremely high evasion, so I'll need the accuracy to get the evasion. Once we have the evasion, I believe we fight, I think it's the attack boss next. So we need the evasion to make sure he doesn't hit us, because he will hurt like hell. So we do the evasion boss next. Once we get the attacks boss, now we go do the defense boss, and so on and so forth. I don't know if it's necessarily in that order, I have to go look it up, but that's going to be how this works. But we want to be maxed out in the sphere grid, if we can be, before we start doing this, because it's going to make this so much easier. That way I don't have to, like, worry about having overdrives active. We can just do the melee thing, and all I have to do is hit A over and over and over. Okay, Tidus is Well, Tidus might be able to go a little bit further. Yeah, Tidus can go further because Riku's already completed all of this still. So unfortunately, this is going to be the longest time commitment for what we're doing here, is specifically the leveling up sections. I'm going to go ahead and just... I have a level 2 key sphere, so we're going to go do this. Riku hasn't gotten this one yet, so I'm going to have to just remember that Riku needs to get this one. But this is going to be the longest time commitment, doing what I'm doing right now. Because the actual fights are going to be at 4 times speed, and once I start getting rolling in the fights, it's just going to be, again, like 5 or 6 auto attacks kills a boss. So it's going to be extremely quick. And then we beat each boss about 50 times, and we're done. The only bosses that are going to be a major pain in the ass are going to be, like... I think Giant Flan or whatever it is going to be a kind of a pain because it has damage mitigation. And then, obviously, like, the luck guys are going to be a pain in the ass just because you can't just spam attacks on them. You have to actually work for it with them. Rose, what are you doing, you goofy dog? But unfortunately, when you do this, it just takes forever because you actually have to manually activate each sphere. And what I... Whoops, don't want to go there yet. I need to go here. What I would normally consider doing to make this a little bit more quick is we are going to use... Once I've manually upgraded everybody, we're going to use the cheat in order to get the other 4 fully upgraded. Just for giggles. Unfortunately, I don't think I can normally use that cheat here. Again, I think if I remember correctly, she went this way. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't normally use that cheat here because I can't just level up Tidus and then be done, unfortunately. Because he might be able to solo all enemies, but it would take a while. So it's still going to be better to do it this way. Okay, she needs to go activate. She needs to go here, and then she's going to go join Tidus. We also, unfortunately, do have to wait for our characters to move around the sphere grid like this. And God help me if I accidentally put them in the wrong place, because we have to actually undo it and then redo it. That's one of the few things that I think they kind of screwed up when it came to maxing out the sphere grid, is that you will sometimes like have to watch a character move all the way over the sphere grid. So that's what we're going to end up having. We're going to end up having a lot of back and forth where I will do a bunch of level ups, then we'll go gain a bunch of levels, then we'll come back and do a bunch of level ups, then I will be out of spheres. Like, for example, I'm currently running out of almost every sphere. So then I'll go beat the crap out of Kados a couple times to get some more spheres, then we'll come back and we'll level up again. That's going to be the kind of gameplay loop for the next 2 or 3 streams. Maybe not that long, because it's not taking as long to beat every enemy because we have the 4 times speed. It's still going to take a while, though. And then what'll happen is, once we have fully leveled up everybody, then we'll go fight, as I said, I think it's Hornet who's the accuracy boss. We'll fight Hornet 50 times, and then we'll level up everybody to full, so everybody will have 99 sphere levels. Mostly for movement, because again, we'll have completely filled out the sphere grid. So we'll do that for movement, and then one of the 3 characters who will be arbitrarily chosen because of the first character I open up the sphere grid to will move forward and spend every single one of those evasion spheres. And then the other characters will just follow the same path they've taken and, you know, reactivate all the ones that they just did. And then we'll just do that for every stat. Once we complete doing that and everybody's at 255 across the board with, I think we're going to end up, it's about 34,000 health altogether. Then we're going to go start fighting the actual bosses. Some bosses will die very, very easily, some not so much, but... I might, just for giggles, before we max out, I might go fight a couple, or like, I'll max the sphere grid, then we'll go fight a couple of bosses and kind of just show off how powerful these bosses actually are. Actually, I could just go do that now, because I'm about to run out of magic defense. Let's go fight a boss. Let's see, what's the easiest one to do? The easiest one to reach is also the easiest one, so let's go do that. So, we're going to go teleport to Besaid. Okay, so we're on Besaid again. And we're going to go fight the easiest of the super hard bosses. Did I save? Ah, hey, there's a save point. Game sound? Okay. You don't really want game sound for when I'm grinding the arena. It's not... That song will get in your head and you will never want to hear it again. Okay, so the way Dark Aeons work is that after, I believe, Bavel, these guys show up. And their job is to take you out. So they will kind of show up and just fight you. And these bosses are very, very hard.
Infidel! Prepare to charge!
So here is Dark Veil 4. So I'm just going to go and buff up real quick, even though I don't think this is actually going to matter. I'm pretty sure he's just going to flat kill us. So he's going to instantly Energy Ray, and oh, wow, that wasn't actually as bad as I thought. Maybe we can beat him. We might actually be able to beat him. That being said, if we're going to try this, I should actually attach their actual weapons. There we go. Nope, never mind. Did you see how he just one-shot Riku with a basic attack? Well, actually, because Tidus is so powerful, he may be able to do it. But you'll notice he just dodged Tidus. Tidus, who is extremely powerful and does extremely powerful things. We're also going to put Shell on Tidus because I'm going to need him to be able to survive bullshit. Here comes an Energy Blast. And that's a party wipe. Okay, so he was as hard as I said he was. So we just lost that fight. So, as I said, that is the easiest one of those. And, yeah, he just kicked my ass. Oh, hey, I did put a save there. Cool. So, that is what we are... What did I say I needed? Magic spheres? That's what we have to grind up towards right now. Yeah, they, he do things. Okay, so you'll notice that Yojimbo doesn't have a ton of health right now, which is kind of interesting. But look at Anima's health when I pull Anima out. Just mug. Why are you not... Oh, because you have that on. Okay. Look at Anima's health. Anima has 13,000 health. Cindy, Sandy, and Mindy have 13,000. Bomb Hotland is at 11. So they are leveling up a little bit with Yuna. Okay, there's some Mana Spheres. Yeah, the Dark Aeons are extraordinarily powerful, and they show up really damn early in the game. So the Dark Aeons actually show up immediately after Bavel, immediately after, I believe it's the wedding scene. But the fun thing about that is that you could have gone to places the Dark Aeons were, starting then. So you may recall that I made a point to, like, run back and pick up Orin's Ject Spheres really early on, like as soon as I had the ability, just before Makalania Lake. And that's why, is because if I had not done that, I would have to... God damn it. If I had not done that, I would have to beat Dark Valefor just to get the Ject Sphere in Besaid. What you may also be noticing is that Tidus is starting to do max damage from basic attacks. Now, that was a crit that he did it on, but... There is a Dark Anima, yes. In this case, the word dark, I believe, is potentially a mistranslation. I believe when it says Dark Anima, it's really meaning evil in this case, because it is it's a summon that is being used against you. So I believe in this case they actually do mean evil. Okay, so that's gonna give me Mana Spheres. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do an Extract Power as well. Go ahead and let Bahamut. Go ahead and let Bahamut Mega Flare. There's that delay after overdrives. Now, what I really should be doing is I should have their legendary weapons active, because they're not actually getting overdrives, and it would be really helpful to have them have overdrives. But it's definitely this, like, you know, this thing where it's like, okay, well, you know, the question is, do I want overdrives or do I want experience? Because technically we're getting experience fighting Kados, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not experience that matters because of how much experience we get off of Don Tonberry. So, why did I do that? You should be dead, right? Okay. Okay, I think we're... Ah, damn it. So, the reason we fight Kados in order to get spheres here is that Kados' normal drop is, his normal drop is 40, oh, cool. Kados' normal drop is 40 stamina spheres, which is a item that we don't care about in any way, shape, or form. So what we're doing is we're using extract power, and the extract abilities change whatever item would normally be dropped into a sphere of that type. So for example, we got power spheres. The problem is every enemy in okay, she's already there. Every enemy in the arena, in addition to being able to drop whatever their standard drop is. So for example, you know, One Eye's standard drop is 2 magic defense spheres. So in addition to their standard drop, they also have the ability to drop 2 dark matter. And dark matter is the item I need to enchant ribbon on a piece of armor. I will eventually need a lot of dark matter. So the problem is occasionally I'll fight Kados and I'll do an extraction and I'll only get 2 spheres of whatever type I needed. And that kind of hurts because it is simultaneously me not getting what I needed and having to do another fight. But it also means I missed out on 2 dark matter. Presumably, I will get enough dark... Oh, nope, didn't want to go there. This is what I meant by accidentally going too far, so now I have to actually go back and watch a movement animation again. Presumably, I will get enough dark matter to enchant 1 extra armor by the time we finish maxing out the sphere grid the way I want it to. Then, we're going to go grind Dark Yojimbo. Dark Yojimbo works a little bit differently than the other Darks do. You have to beat him, I want to say, 5 times in a row before he's actually dead. Every time you fight him, I believe he drops dark matter. But in addition to the dark matter, he also happens to drop armors that come with ribbon in 3 empty slots. So we're going to grind him until he drops one of those for one of the characters who isn't Tidus. So for Yuna or for Riku, we'll grind him until he gives us one, and then we will craft the other one. It does mean that the Auto Phoenix that I crafted into both their armors, I'm going to have to do another Auto Phoenix, which is kind of an expensive customization, but it's worth it to have an Auto Phoenix armor for them. So I'll have wasted 1 Auto Phoenix, which is, I forget what that is. It's like 20 Mega Phoenixes. Rose, can you stop moving, please? Just sit on my lap and relax. I don't know why you're being hyper right now. It's kind of obnoxious, I'm not gonna lie. God, my A button is going to be worn out after all of this. Also, the more we do this, the more useful Yuna and Riku are going to be. I believe I already mentioned this, but we are running through Lulu's sphere grid right now, and we did a small pass-through of Riku's earlier, so they're getting a lot of speed and a lot of accuracy. They're getting some evasion, and then more than anything else, they're getting magic, which is not incredibly helpful. But as soon as we finish with Riku's sphere grid, we get to go do Wakka's, and all of a sudden, they're going to start getting damage. Which means that in a very real way, they will actually start being damage dealers in a melee attack thing very, very soon. So you're going to actually get to see Yuna swing her staff and deal a shit ton of damage. Which always cracks me up. Okay, so you're going to go... Oh. Let's have you go do this first. Okay, now they will all be caught up on the same actual sphere. So now we're going to go fight Don Tonberry again and get a, get a boost. And then we're going to start really working at this. And I'll also show you where the stats are looking right now, so you get an idea of where everybody is. Because I actually haven't looked at the stats recently, so I'm not 100% sure where everybody is at the moment. Okay, so Yuna... Oh, hey, cool. Check it out. So everybody's at 255 defense. So that means every defense sphere that I see from here on out, with a couple exceptions, but every magic defense sphere that we see from here on out, we're going to be deleting and replacing with something else. So what I might do is we might actually go start fighting, we might actually go start fighting the next boss, so I'm not wasting time on the way. So you'll notice that Tidus has 148 strength, whereas Yuna and Riku are only at about 45, 46. So he's massively more powerful than they are. He also has a lot higher agility, but he has also completed a lot more spheres than they have. He also has maxed out HP, or at least currently maxed out HP. So yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're going to go fight Don Tonberry real quick, and we're going to do that in order to, let's go switch back to Ragnarok, Victorix, and the Heavenly Access. Let's also, we need a little bit of money, because we have spent a lot of money doing stuff recently. So we're going to go ahead and sell some stuff here. No longer hate the Iron Grip. Cool. So you'll notice that a lot of these items here are actually worth something. That's going to be one way we're going to get money, is by selling all of these items I don't need. So that was worth a decent amount. That's basically going to pay for the grinding I'm going to be doing. Then, when it comes to the actual crafting, we're going to have to do some other stuff. Okay, they have their Phoenix Downs. I'm just going to have them defend because there's no reason for them to actually do anything. Now, because of the way I have this set up, because they're, both of them get experience from Tidus. Tidus only gets, and each other. Tidus only gets experience from himself, with the setup we have. Ah, crap. We're out of Phoenix Downs. That's fine. We have life. Okay, that's the last karma he's actually going to do. So now he's right up close and personal. So I think what we're going to do is Tidus is going to go ahead and switch to... Whoop. Crap. Switch to Khalid Bolg, please. And do I have summon build, or do I have overdrive build up on Anima? No. So we're just going to go ahead and grand summon Anima. You'll notice that now Anima has 15,000 health, not 13,000. And Anima gets a total overkill. By the way, I believe that summons get to do even more damage than auto attacks do. Cool. Okay, everybody's maxed out. We're going to go ahead and equip everybody with their actual items. So, Tia's already has the Khalid Bolg, God Hand, and Nirvana. I need to go buy a bunch of Phoenix Downs, which is fine. Nope, not fight a monster, please. Buy items. You'll notice exactly how little this stuff costs me. I'm just going to buy everything just because I hate actually seeing that I could be buying stuff. And let's buy some more clear spheres. Okay. So, who do I fight next? Give me just a second. So the first enemy now that we're gonna start beating the ever-loving crap out of is Terex. So I was wrong about who has it. Apparently we're starting evasion. So here's Terex. We're gonna beat the crap out of Terex. So you see Terex has really high evasion. That's cool. I have abilities that don't care about Terex's evasion. And Terex is gone. Bye, Terex. So there's 2 evasion spheres. Problem is I need a lot more of those, so I need to actually do something else. I need to change our overdrives temporarily back to warrior. No, she doesn't have warrior, unfortunately, so we'll have her do ally. Nah, actually, I take it back. Yuna will stay with comrade. Riku doesn't actually matter for this. Okay, so we're going to fight Terex roughly 50 times. And it's mostly going to be Tidus actually doing all the work here. Now, good news is Tidus does have high accuracy in the first place, so he's kind of already there. But in addition to that, Tidus also has auto haste going on right now. So because he has auto haste, he's naturally going to get more moves than anybody else is. Which is important because he's going to be the one that actually does damage. And what I should really do, though, I don't... we're going to do quick hit. So Tidus will actually end up getting even more moves. So you see Tidus automatically revives everybody, which is lovely. Now, unfortunately, Tidus took a fair amount of damage there, so because of that, he's not dealing as much damage as I need him to. So that means he's not actually doing... it means he's not doing max damage, which means we're not getting overkill. And overkill is what actually will get me the 2 spheres instead of 1. So we want to make sure we overkill. There's my 2 evasion spheres. And then I think this time... And so what we can do is, because I have Yuna and because her summons break even normal damage limit... well, it's not going to matter right now. That's bad. Summons break even normal damage limit. But I can't... crap. Right, he cursed me with Beak of Woe, so I don't actually get to use Overdrive. Irritating. That's what that black and white flash is. So there was some dark matter. So that's both, again, that's both awesome and not awesome. So the awesome thing about that is that now I have more dark matter, which means I'm going to, let's just grand summon Anima. I'm done with it. I have more dark matter, so I'm faster, getting that ribbon faster. On the downside, On the downside, it means I will need to get more evasion spheres. So, the question is, what do I grind more? Dark matter or evasion spheres? This thing is a pain in the ass to hit. Luckily, Anima has really good accuracy. So we're just going to actually let Yuna do all the hard work. I didn't realize how good Anima would be here. It's actually kind of cool. Like, I originally was going to be doing this for an offline pseudo Let's Play. So I had never really intended to, like, do this in a stream. I said I would do it in a stream instead. So I had started doing this grind in, like, the offline thing that I did. What am I typing? Just friends chit-chatting with me. So I had done this in an offline thing, and I didn't actually use Yuna's summons in the grind. And now I'm realizing just how much this is, like, just how faster this is with Anima just coming in and just saying, like, if Anima hits here, it's an instant overkill. Now, I don't think it's going to be like that for, well, if Anima hits twice. Oh, that's not good. That was a lot of turns. But Anima's going to get that, like, that very fast overkill if Anima hits. So, which is going to be very helpful against Terex just because of that high evasion. Damn, that wasn't an overkill. Well, these grind ones are probably not going to be as long as the other sessions are, just because of how monotonous and brain melty this is. So we may end up calling this good in about 30 minutes. Okay, Rose, if you want to get on the bed, go ahead. Okay, can we, like, can this not happen? Like, Anima, hit him. That was, wow, that was 8 back-to-back attacks off of Terex. That's kind of interesting. Interesting and embarrassing. Okay, come on. Can we hit him, please? Thank you. Still no overkill. Again, our accuracy is supposed to be better before we do this. So, this is kind of my fault, but at the same time, I want these evasion spheres while I'm moving around the board. Well, keep in mind, Tidus is only faster when Tidus is either A, using his overdrive, or B, actually hitting. And the problem is, Tidus is not actually hitting an awful lot. Like, I know it looks like I'm killing very fast when I use Tidus, but remember, I'm using his overdrive a lot for this. If we look at Tidus's actual hits, that's a miss. Another miss. There was one hit. Okay, there's another one. So it kind of depends on how lucky I am with Tidus's hits. If I actually have an overdrive set up on Yuna, Anima instantly kills whatever the hell she's fighting. What I wish I had on Yuna right now was the Victor overdrive condition. Because Victor, let's do this. Because Victor says just whenever we win, overdrive fills in. The problem is, in order to get Victor, you have to have actually been in the main party for X amount of victories. And Yuna was not in, like, the frontline party enough throughout the main campaign to already have Victor. Which kind of sucks. So you'll notice just how much, like, Tidus is missing right now. So Anima would be a better choice right now. And that wasn't an overkill. I have to go double check how many orbs I've gotten already. Ah, damn, Tias is out of mana. Okay, well, Yuna can Grand Summon Anima and be done with this. So Tidus does a maximum of 100,000 damage. Anima is going to do 700,000 damage. Sorry, 900,000 damage. Okay, let's go heal up real quick. And also, I want to see how many of these orbs we've actually gotten so far. 25, okay. And how many did I actually need? How many do I have left of the mana defense spheres? 31? So I need, like... I need at least 60. But what I may do is we may start leveling up again now that... Yeah, let's do some leveling up. So that way we can get more accuracy. And we'll start using the spheres, and we'll come back when we run out. Okay, so now I need to delete 2 types of spheres. Now we delete any future magic defense, because it's no longer needed. But now we also delete any evasion that is worth less than 4. Okay, so we have that's magic defense that we can delete. No longer need it. And that's agility, which we still need. Regular magic, and that's a 4-point evasion. Cool. Unfortunately, some of them have identical, like, looks to them. So, magic defense has the exact same look as, magic attack. I don't know why they did that. Okay, that's an agility. That's a regular magic. That's magic defense, however. And this is the end of Lulu's track, and I don't think anybody's done the end of Lulu's track yet. That's a good point of evasion. Okay, now we're going to start breaking into Waka's sphere grid, which starts over here. So I kind of want to work backwards in this direction. So what would be... I think it would be better if we just go this way, right? How many is that going to take? Yeah, that's going to be... I think it's going to be better if we work backwards in this direction. Oh, you're right. Defense is a shield, attack is a circle. You're right. Okay. So the way I usually do this is I have one character do like a, you know, some amount of the sphere grid, and then to make sure I don't lose what track he went on, I then have the other characters follow him. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do this for about another 20 minutes today, and then that'll be it for today. Because we've actually made a fair amount of progress today. And just the further we go in this, actually, the faster it's going to become. Tidus will be the strongest of them, of all three of them, about until we get to actually, like, Tidus's track. And then when we get to Tidus's track, it's going to suddenly change. All of a sudden, they're going to start catching up really, really fast. Which is actually kind of neat. And once we get into... Yeah, I mean, Look, don't get me wrong, your opinion is valid. You're allowed to not like the ending, and that's absolutely fine. But I would rather you not like the ending, but have, like, I guess... I'm trying to think of a, you know, a nice way to put this. But I'd rather have you not like the ending with a more complete understanding of the game and the ending, than have you not like the ending because of, like, a misconception. Like, kind of like how we had talked about my dislike of how, like, Final Fantasy VII did its stuff. I understand a little bit more, and now I'm more willing to give it a chance and think about it. So, like, I would rather have that be the thing. At the end of the day, if you don't like the ending, you don't like the ending, and I'm not gonna... I will try to change your mind, but that's about it. Okay. Now, we're going to have to go and grind some more ability spheres and some more speed spheres. Actually, it looks like we're going to have to go grind a little bit more of everything but power. Especially when you get to these early parts of any given character's, like, areas. So we're really early in Waka's sphere grid right now. We're at the very beginning of it. When you get to these really early points like this, you end up getting these really crappy little small spheres. So, you know, it's useful. I'm trying to decide, do I just want to... Especially because Tidus hits max damage. Do I want to delete anything that's not a 4 and just start deleting everything? Tidus is doing max damage anyways. And he's the only one we really care about right now. I think I do. What'd I say? We need mana spheres. I think it just depends on, and CTS is doing even more damage now than he was a few minutes ago. When I started this stream, Tidus was doing, like, at best, 12,000 damage on any given slice and dice. Now he's doing, you know, 33,000. And Riku was doing, like, 300 damage on any given, like, auto attack. Now she's doing 2,600. So you very quickly start to see the increase in power. Okay, there's some mana spheres. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I did the last time I did this. And I'm just going to start deleting any sphere that's not a max sphere to begin with, because it's going to make it easy for me to know what to fill in later. There's no point having her just die, and Tidus gets to finish off everything. Whoops. So what I did last time is I ended up going around the board multiple times. I think we can do it faster by just deleting some of this old stuff. Okay. Power Spheres should be maxed. Tidus doesn't have the ability to do ability spheres yet. Or does he? Does he have the ability to do that? Extract power, extract mana, extract speed. He does not have extractability. Extractability is actually, it's actually right there. I'm really loath to waste, This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do 2 extract speeds, and then I'm gonna go get him extractability. We're gonna go from there. Oh, no, that's extract power. Whoops. Extract speed. Well, that was stupid of me. See, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna delete the stuff that's not actually like worth a damn. Okay, let's do 1 more extract speed. And then you can summon Anima, and Anima can just kill this thing. I mean, it's boring, but one of the things I've learned is to try to compartmentalize my boredom, to just kind of keep it off to the side, you know? I mean, work's fun. You know, it's... At the end of the day, you know, you gotta... You gotta remember, work is work. Okay, I shouldn't have actually done that. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's work, and it's, you know, it's always gonna be work, is the thing. So, there's a certain point where, like, hoping that work will be anything less than just... Yeah, we're gonna do this. It shouldn't. Like, it also has a lot to do with just kind of like just various things on how I ended up growing up. So when I was and I've already mentioned this in the past, but when I was you know, a young kid, I was going into my first year of high school, and my dad ended up killing himself. We got the news on actually my orientation day. I was actually taken home by like one of the administrators, you know, because they needed me to go home and, you know, make sure I was okay. And, you know, that's kind of a big thing to happen, and it caused me at the time to make a lot of not good decisions about how to live my life, which have, you know, had extremely negative consequences. Things like, you know, dropping out of high school. And I dropped out of high school because I was getting tired of, like, everybody around me telling me, you know, oh, how, you know, I'm so sorry. Is there anything we can do? It was every single teacher. In fact, there's one kid who was kind of like a bully. He and I never got along well. So he was kind of a bully. Even he was acting nice. And I was like, stop reminding me. And then there was also depression that came from this. And I didn't really acknowledge the depression at the time. But, you know, it became very obvious that I was depressed. So we tried multiple, different medicines to kind of control the depression. But the problem is that some medicines don't work very well on some people. There are some medicines that make some people you know, a lot of people report, like, feeling like zombies on medicines. It feels like their emotions just go away. And we were never really able to find a medicine that worked very well for me. Now, what's supposed to happen if you are a individual with more patience than I had, and an individual who was not kind of rebelling against things that were going on around you, what's supposed to happen is you try multiple medicines, and you will eventually find, and then you have to get a blood level on them. You know, you have to take them for a couple of weeks until your blood reaches a certain level of saturation of the medicine. And doing this will, at some point, eventually reach you will find a medicine that works for you. That's how it's supposed to work. I never gave it time. So one day, we were heading off to talk to my I think my psychologist. How are we looking at evasion? 192. Okay. So one day we're running off to talk to my psychologist, and we're driving, and my mom, and keep in mind, I understand nowadays the conversation, but as a kid I didn't really understand the conversation. So nowadays, you know, so my mom made the statement that, you know, I need to make sure you're safe. I need to make sure that if you ever feel, and keep in mind, one of my mom's faults is that she likes to project other people's issues on third parties. So she was terrified out of her gourd that I would get depressed and also commit suicide. Now, that's a fairly understandable thing, and I understand that's understandable. The reason I say that my mom projects is that one of, like, the husband of a family that was friends with our family, like those, you know, two close-knit families, the husband got addicted to pornography, and so he spent, like, all of his money on, you know, the husband spent, like, all of his money on pornography. I need to go get some ability spheres now. He spent all of his money on pornography, kind of put the family into a not good place because they were running out of money. He had to have an intervention. You know, it was this whole thing. So because this happened, my mom thought I was going to have an issue with pornography. So she made a point of, like, look at my computer all the time. Do I have pornography on it? Am I looking at it? My brother had issues with being, and I'm not joking about this, a sexual predator. So my mom was very worried for a while that I would be one, and that I would, you know, be, you know, fiddling about with my little sisters and things like that. So I guess I said she projects. But the thing that she projected upon me was that I would potentially, you know, commit suicide. And the problem is, as a kid, I did not take this very seriously. So I told my mom that it would be oh so easy for me to reach over and grab the steering wheel and run the car off the road. Because in my eyes, that was telling her, hey, this is how easy it would be for me to do this. You know, I don't know why you're so worried. I haven't done it yet. Mom didn't take it that way for, you know, obvious reasons, right? Mom, you know, thought I was making a statement about how easy it would be for me to kill myself. And so she decided to tell my therapist about that. My psychologist, sorry. She told the psychologist about that. And then the psychologist decided to institutionalize me. So, you know, put me into a mental hospital for 3 days so they could, you know, watch over me and see how I was. So this was not fun, obviously. And especially because I didn't have those thoughts. I was depressed, definitely, but I wasn't suicidal. So after 3 days, actually, I think after 2 days, they were supposed to hold me for 3, and I think after 2, they realized that this was not a thing they needed to do. So after 2 days, they let me out, and they said, okay, you seem to be fine. You know, just let anybody know something's wrong. But, no. So the way it ended up actually going down, I kind of truncated just a little bit. So when she told the doctor about what would happen, or like what had happened, the doctor turned to me and he said, is this true? I said, sure. And the doctor then said, okay, do you feel depressed? Do you feel suicidal? And I said, no, I don't. And he said, can you promise me that if you do have suicidal thoughts, that you will tell an adult immediately? And I told him I can't do that. He said, why not? And I said, because there's not usually adults around. My grandmother is old, not able to do anything. She's over 80. She can't help. She can't drive. There's nothing she could do. And my mom frequently is gone out of the house on errands and doesn't always answer her phone. I might not have an adult to talk to. And that's when he decided to institutionalize me because he thought I was giving him a very different answer than I was. Again, he was doing his job. I just wasn't happy about it at the time. I'm still actually not happy about it, but... So, what I decided, especially as we were not finding, a medicine that would work for me, I said, you know what? I'll just deal with this myself then. Since we can't seem to find a medicine that's going to help me deal with these feelings, I will just deal with them. I will find ways to express out my distress, my stress. I will find ways to, relax, ways to deal with that. And so a lot of that stuff is what I've, started working on. It's just, okay, am I depressed? Why am I depressed? Okay, that's why I'm depressed. Cool. Let's start working on just that. It's taken years for me to reach a point where I can really go, yeah, this is a situation I'm not going to be in. I will not allow myself to be in the situation. If I'm depressed because I'm lonely, cool, I will go find people to talk to. So, when you say it's mental control, some of it is just, some of the stuff that I do and, say, okay, I can control this, has come from me being in various situations where, I had to kind of develop that in order to kind of continue being a functioning person. Okay, we're officially out of evasion spheres. Okay, well, let's look at our stats here. So Tidus is at 192, Riku is at 149, and Yuna is at 208. So the big problem here, especially with comparing their stats, is that Tidus has covered a lot of zones that the other two have not covered. So what I would ideally do is jump them to Tidus's board and kind of go over Tidus's board with them, because I need them to all be at the same rate. So what I might do is I might actually jump them to Yuna's board first, and Tidus can take over Yuna's board, and they can start replacing stuff there. And then after Yuna's board, I think they've done the majority of Riku's board at this point. Actually, I think they've done all of Riku's board at this point. I think they have done everything Riku has done. Yeah, they've done everything Riku's done. Okay. So we might go do Yuna's board real quick and then jump straight to Tidus's board, so that way I can kind of make sure we're tracking correctly. And we'll do the individual piece replacements in Tidus's board, and then we'll start going from there. But that's going to be the end of the stream for today. I will continue working on stuff come Thursday. We'll continue working on this. I'll see you guys soon.